Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Hunter Foreman, and today, as I want to do this my extravagant introduction because the person that we have here today is a good friend of mine, is a cousin of another good friend of mine, and Keegan's in the house. What's going on, man?
What goes on, my guys?
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to get right to it because we talked to, because first things first, Keegan's been wanting to be on the show for a while, and there's just been a lot of scheduling things. I've had to, work in a lot of different things. So I finally found a time. I was like, you know what? Let's get it popping. Like there's a lot of creative stuff that I'm gonna be releasing in the next couple of days. So this is a great way to start it off. First, let's turn us up just a tad. Let's get right into it. Music. Let's talk about music. We're gonna go a little backwards today. Today, Big Sean and Metro Boomin dropped their collab album known as Double or Nothing, and I've gotten probably to listen to about 6 songs of the whole thing. And to be honest, I expected a little bit more because it's Big Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like Big Sean is definitely he's under Good Music, which has great artists such as Travis isn't necessarily signed to them, which people need to understand that Travis is really not signed to Kanye. He's only signed under his production wing. So, first things first, what is your impression? What is your impression of Big Sean? When you think of Big Sean, what do you think of?
Big Sean, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of a little, I guess looks-wise. I don't know, looks-wise. Kind of reminds me of a little, like, cousin of Kanye for some reason. I don't know.
I feel like he's more laid back.
Laid back. He's definitely more laid back than Kanye.
Yeah.
A lot more, just laid back.
I mean, the thing is with this is that, like, you have to understand, you don't see Kanye really. I mean, the only collab album Kanye ever did was Watch the Throne. Mm-hmm. But this has been the year of the collab album, to be honest. We had Without Warning on Halloween with 21 and Offset and Metro. We got this Big Sean and Metro joint. We had Future and Young Thug with Super Slimy. We had a lot of collab albums that I think kind of fell under the radar. Off the top of an underground one, Burner and Styles P of the Locks. They did it. They did a nice, cool collab album. But what do you think doing for example, do you think for their image, for their brand, do you think Young Thug and Future doing a collab album together was a good idea?
I think it is. I mean, Future is literally, like, every song that I see, Future is, like, featured in it. So, I mean, and Young Thug being himself, being outspoken, flamboyant, whatever you want to say about him.
He's different.
He's different. That's what I like about him. I think it was a good move.
I think it was interesting because, like, there wasn't, like, because I don't compare this to What a Time to Be Alive. Mm. I don't compare this to because remember how What a Time to Be Alive had a bunch of what I'd say radio hits. Yeah. You had Jumpman, you had Scholarship, you had Diamonds Dancing, like you had all these radio hits. Super Slimy was just like, it reminded me just of like, I remember when Future went on that whole run of like mixtapes and albums. Yeah. Every album was like crazy. Like I remember, and he had this year he dropped back-to-back albums that went both with #1. Mask Off being one of the best songs of the year. Mm-hmm. So where do you rank Future like this year? Do you think he's at least top 5 best artists of this year?
Top 5?
Okay, if like basically like if there was an MVP race, would he be in the MVP race of this year?
I think he would definitely be one of the more important people up there. Like, just because, like, he has so much recognition and, like, he's, like you said, he's on the radio, so that gives him more, like, publicity. Like, not a lot of artists can get their song on the radio.
Apparently it's really hard because there's a lot of great artists who don't have a single song on the radio.
Exactly.
And for that segue, even though like he gets featured on songs that are on the radio, I don't think I've only heard No Problems probably once on the radio with Chance.
Yeah.
Chance definitely is in the most valuable rapper kind of race for me, because I see him as a kind of like a martyr, kind of like a leader of this like new independent kind of thing, this whole independent movement.
He's definitely for younger people.
Yes, definitely.
A lot. I could see, a lot of kids like him. Like
he spreads a good message in his music.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, I mean, some even older people like him. Like
and I think that's a good thing, because you see these new artists like for example, Lil Uzi Vert. Mm-hmm. I like Uzi. I do. I like Uzi's music, but that's like for older generation.
Like
no.
Like for say our parents.
Yeah,
they're gonna listen to Uzi, and Uzi's gonna give
them a bad vibe.
Them a bad name. While if they go to Chance,
not so.
He talks about a few things. Like, he said a few things.
Yes, of course, but it's Chance. But he
means
a new guy.
it. He means it in a good like tone, I guess.
Favorite Chance song off the top of your head?
No Problems.
Okay. And were you as happy as I was when he won that Grammy for the first streaming album to be in? I was very happy when I got that news feed where it said Chance won best rap album, and I was like, but it didn't sell a dime. That Coloring Book. Okay, the power of streaming. It's very like it's crazy, because it's like you can make a project and you don't have to sell it on iTunes. You put it on Spotify, you put it on Apple Music, you put it on Tidal, and it'll get you where you need to go. Chance right now, what I've been told, is working on his actual, retail debut album right now. Yeah. And I don't know what it's gonna sound like, but I know it's gonna sound great. I don't expect it to be released probably until the end of next year.
Yeah.
If it does, some sort of indication. But another person that I wanted to talk to who released an album last night was Juicy J.
Juicy J.
Now, Juicy J, for at least, I want to say I remember one year Juicy J was just that guy. I mean, it was the same year he released Bands Make Her Dance. Mm-hmm. The same year that he did the Dark Horse Katy Perry song, which when that came, I remember.
So like 2014,
13-ish. I was still kind of in school when that came out.
I just remember that Katy Perry song was on the radio so much.
I remember when it first came out, and I was like, "This is dope."
It was a good song, but after a while, it was just like Jesus Christ.
That's like 3005 for me.
Yeah.
3005, when I first heard it, I was like, "This is great. This should be on the radio," and it was, and then it didn't stop.
Yeah, it didn't stop for
played
like
on the radio, and I was like, "Come on, man!" Like, speaking of Childish Gambino, I read this article, and I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think "Awaken My Love" is the right album for him to leave the music scene off of?
That's hard.
It's nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, to be honest with you, I've only listened to a few songs on it.
Of course, Redbone.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, that's all over Twitter. I don't know. Like, I kind of wanted. It was
different.
It's definitely different. But I kind of wanted him to do more of a.
You want Childish Gambino instead of Donald Glover.
Yes.
You want. Or
even like a mixture would have been nice.
Like Kawhi, that EP that he did.
Exactly.
That was a good. I thought Sober was a great song. He had Jaden Smith on there, which I know we're getting.
Speaking of Jaden Smith.
Speaking of Jaden Smith, man, can we talk about Jaden Smith's album?
Speaking of it, I was really surprised. Like,
I was surprised too. Remember you heard 90?
Yes. Oh my god.
Yo,
that song. The ending of it.
It's okay. I understand we're like kind of like fanboying out this, but if you go listen to 90, I don't listen to like the last like 4 or 5 minutes. I listen to the first 3. It's it's so well produced. Like whoever. I understand why Jaden Smith really took time on this album.
Yeah.
Why we had to wait probably 2 years, because you have to understand, like, stuff like that, and songs like 90s, songs like the song with A$AP Rocky.
Yeah,
Breakfast. Yeah. And then the song with Rory, Falcon.
Falcon.
Exactly. So
good.
it's different. It's
so
different.
Good.
And I didn't expect him to rap like that.
Let's see. I'm looking at it right now.
As Keegan pulls up the track list right now.
There's a few songs on here.
90 being my top one.
Yeah.
Icon.
Icon's good.
Icon's apparently getting radio. It's apparently getting the radio treatment.
Yeah. There's only like one song on here that I
just don't like.
I mean, there's Batman, which is an off. I mean, it's just a kind of a rip off of Jumpman, if we're being honest.
Really?
Yeah. The same beat, the same,
You know, John Mayer's been like messing with a lot of rappers. Like,
yes.
He's been working with a lot
I've
of
heard
rappers.
about the.
You know, he was on Ty Dolla's. He did vocals for Ty Dolla $ign's album Beach
Really?
House 3, which I did a review on the channel. Go check it out. Which
Plug.
No, oh yeah, well, but like you have to understand, like, that album Beach House 3, and I've talked about it in the review, but I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. That's probably not only the best Ty Dolla $ign album I've ever heard, but it has to be in contender, at least top 10 with album of the year, because the production, the time, the song with Pharrell and Wiz Khalifa is amazing. I guarantee you, like, it's Drop Top in the Rain with Tory Lanez. He had 2 future features on it, which I thought was a little bit too much, but it was like, okay, it makes sense here. So,
and I mean, I heard John Mayer was going to be on Post Malone's new album.
Oh, okay. I'm a little. I'm not as excited for this album as I was for Stoney.
I know,
and I'm going to be and it's not because of his publicity and not because of like what he said about hip hop, which. Yeah. I understand what he means. Like, he has his own taste of music when he's in his in his feelings.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant to say.
But and I get it. I mean, there's sometimes where I'm like, I love hip hop. That's a well known fact. But there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, maybe I want to listen to some Offspring. Maybe I want to listen to some
just branch out. You know?
Yeah, just branch out. Like I've over the years, like probably like my whole high school year, I listened to nothing but hip hop. But like after I got out, I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. I listened to this band in California called the Barbarian Overlords. They are amazing. I'm talking about one of the best drummers I've ever heard since Neil Peart, and that's a big deal. Like, it's different. Like, I understand what he was saying, but I'm not as excited for this one as I was. I mean, Rockstar.
It's a good song.
It's missing something.
Yeah.
It's missing something. I don't know what it is, but I felt like Rockstar was missing something. When I heard it was coming out, I was like, okay.
I heard snippets of it before he released it, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a really good song.
Yeah.
But when he released the full version, it's a good song in my opinion. But I know what you mean when you say
it's missing something. I wanted something like, off of the Stoney album. Let's talk about the Stoney album. Big Lie. I wanted something like that. The feel that Big Lie gives you when you listen to it. A lot of vocals. No Option is another one. Cold is another one.
My favorite song on that album,
which is
God, I'm having a brain fart right now. First song, help me out. Broken Whiskey Glass.
Oh, Broken
Whiskey Glass.
Really?
Man.
That's
song,
different. I don't know people who.
I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's the Western feel to it, like in the beginning of the song, or
I love the way he ends the album with Leave. I love the way he ended that album. I was like, wow, man! Like it was nowhere near hip hop. It was just I heard like maybe a little percussion in the back and a little bit of guitar,
and of course, Feeling Whitney, man.
Feeling.
That's a good song.
Yeah. So, but again, I'm not as excited as I was for this one. I mean,
I think it might be because Stoney was such a good album in my opinion. And you don't know how if he's gonna top that.
And you probably know what the sophomore slump is. The sophomore slump is where an artist releases their debut album, and their debut album's amazing, and then their second album, their sophomore album, kind of maybe doesn't live up to par. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who don't have the sophomore slump, but then there's people who do, and it's just like, yo, man, we don't want to hear anything from you anymore. Like, but that's the music section. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great. We forgot to speak on the upcoming releases. 2, which in being next week is the release of the long awaited album of Eminem, Revival. Now, there's been mixed reactions about this. I saw the track list. We got Ed Sheeran, Kehlani, X Ambassadors, which I'm not mad at the X Ambassadors feature, because if you listen to the deluxe version off of Marshall Mathers LP2, Wicked Ways was one of my favorite songs off that album. But they're saying it's a little bit too pop.
That's what I've been hearing. Like I heard that it's classified as a pop album.
If it's classified as a pop album,
that's what I heard.
We gotta talk, man.
I mean,
I want to hear some bars.
Did you hear the new song
Walk on Water with Beyonce?
No, that song, and he released a new song.
I listened to Untouchable, and I was like,
I haven't listened to it yet. That's the thing. But people say it's pop. Like,
it's lackluster. Something's missing. I need something with I need
the
bars. I need aggressive bars.
Like aggressive Eminem.
Yeah, like I heard but I also heard this might be a double disc. So I saw the track list for the double disc that possibly could be, and it had Dr. Dre, Royce da 5'9", which if you haven't listened to Royce da 5'9", I urge you to. If you like aggression, if you like bars, if you like substance, Royce is something for you. Like Royce is probably one of the best lyricists of like this generation and past generation. So it's amazing what people can do. And speaking of lyricists, Lil Wayne dropping Dedication 6 on Christmas Day.
That's really funny.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Merry Christmas.
It's pretty cool.
So are you? What are you expecting from this? Are you expecting the amount? Okay, because D5 had what, 26,
something like that,
28 songs. Are you expecting that many songs on this? I'm not.
I mean, I hope, but
because there's a lot of beats. Because then again, there's a lot of beats that I want to hear Wayne on. Yeah. Like I want to hear Wayne on. I heard him on Magnolia. He did a freestyle on Magnolia. I want to hear him Bad and Bougie.
So you want to hear him on a lot of the new wave rappers?
Yeah, so I'm saying like I want to hear him like do like EXO Tour Life, which will probably be interesting. Like
that would be weird.
Because you know what? Because we all know what Wayne mixtape. There's a difference between album Wayne and mixtape Wayne. Mixtape Wayne, if you give him a beat, he will slaughter it. You want some examples? Burn, off of Dedication 4, off of Dedication 4. I don't have to say anything else. The Green Ranger, which was an old Puffy and Puff Daddy beat that he made featuring J. Cole. My Name Is off of No Ceilings 2. Killed it. Where You At off No Ceilings 2. Killed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Wayne steps into that booth to record a mixtape, I feel like the chains are loose.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions. There's no nothing. It's just like, I'm going to spit
because he knows
he's that good.
Yeah, he knows he's that
He's
good.
The punchline god. He's the punchline god. How could you... I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of songs off of this. I'm expecting at least 20. If it's less than 20, I'm going to look at them kind of sideways. But...
because it's been a minute.
It's been a minute because... But you have to think of all the hit songs in rap that have came out and just think of the possibility of them being remixed by Wayne. Like, maybe Father Stretch My Hands.
That would be
crazy.
Amazing.
Maybe, like I said, Panda, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Portland off of More Life. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of I personally want to see what if he does Bad and Bougie, I would love to see what kind of angle he takes when he when he attacks that beat, because that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because Wayne's just different like that. But let's get into what we came here to do. There is a generation gap that needs to be spoken upon. And I'm sorry if I'm banging my fists on this table, which my mic is on, but we need to talk about it. Okay. Now, Keegan, I'm gonna ask you a really important question. Do you know the difference? And listen to the words between a girl and a woman.
Maturity level.
Boom!
Maturity level. Simple.
Say it again.
It's simple. Maturity level.
Thank you. Now, would you say that it takes time to develop that maturity level? That's the only way that you can be. You can't. A boy can't become a man overnight. It takes time. Nor a girl cannot become a woman overnight. That takes time.
I don't think it matters what gender you are, but the key is if you want to get to that level.
Okay.
Because you have to accept that you might be acting stupid and immature, and you have to change what you're doing in order to get labeled as a woman or a man.
Talk about it. That's the problem that I have right now. I'm gonna get all old man like I hate this generation because and I don't bash people on the. We don't bash people, but I think this conversation needs to be had, and I'm not saying that you represent this at all, because there are some people who are younger who have not necessarily have figured it out, but are a little ahead of everybody else.
Definitely.
Okay, so you've been around people from all ages.
Definitely.
You've noticed
Yep.
behaviors from a girl who's possibly maybe 16 or 17 to a guy who's probably in his 40s.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference
right
away.
Definitely.
So I want to talk about. You're a senior, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about girls and guys that are seniors and have somewhat of a path that they are on, versus people who are just getting into high school. And I can talk about this because 2015 I graduated high school, and there's a lot of things that I've seen in high school. So let's start with this. A person who has their life somewhat together. They have maybe they have a job, or they're applying for colleges, and they're doing just to get ahead. They don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be like everybody else and kind of just go with the flow. Then we have, that's person A. Person B is a freshman, right? Person B is a freshman, fresh out of middle school, doesn't have a care in the world, is looking up to all these people like he is a tiny fish in a giant pond. What advice would you give to person B? First things first, from your personal experience, because my mission is to do one of two things. Is to give people the advice that may be something that they haven't heard before, or just for something, something pleasant for people to hear. That's the mission statement. Yeah. That's the mission statement behind Flight 96. So this is advice time. So if you had to give any key advice to freshmen walking in there,
first day, and it's going to be somewhat of a reality check when you get in there, because because you were the big man in middle school. Now you're at the bottom.
You're a tadpole. You're a tadpole in the Atlantic Ocean. What would you say? Because of course they don't want to rub anybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
But they also want to have some type of spot in there. Whether you admit it or not, everybody you have some type of spot in high school. You have some type of status. You have some type of notoriety. I guess you can say, in high school. So what would you say to that for that freshman that says, hey Keegan, I'm walking into high school and I know I'm not the big man on campus anymore. What's the best way to enjoy myself while becoming a freshman?
Man, just be nice to people. Just be nice to people. That's all you have to do. I swear to God. Like
it's not that hard, but you have to understand, like, you can also be nice to people, but there's also probably 8 out of 10 people they'd be nice to you back. So my question is this: when you walked in as a freshman, what was your feeling first day?
I mean, all the obvious, the obvious things. Like, I was nervous and everything. I was kind of curious, man. Like, just to see how it go. Like, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really like a social person. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I have friends and everything, and I do stuff, but at the same time, I'm very to myself and kind of just do my own thing. Yeah.
Would you now, for someone who's an outgoing person, do you think right off the bat they should not be that kind of person? Because what I say is that, like, if you walk in there, right, and you're this energetic person, you're this boom boom boom, and you start just being yourself,
like being cocky or
somewhat. You gotta be. I think that's
so you
rule
have
number
confidence.
Yeah, you have the confidence. First of all, I think that rule number one: don't walk in. If you're a freshman, do not walk in there because
you'll get shut down so quick.
Yeah, because I mean, when I walked in as a freshman, I was like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. Like, I was just a kid with, like, back when y'all had dress code. I'm not even gonna talk about that.
Can we cuss on here?
What?
Can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Fuck dress code.
So I'm just a kid just walking in here in dress code. Like, I was like, I don't know, man. After a while, it was like, okay, I want to be like the cool kid on campus. But then, like, junior year, it took me till junior year to figure out, like, yo, this isn't working.
It's not, like, it's, like, to be the cool kid, like, I'm not going to say any names.
Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Not going to say any names. I'm not going to expose anyone.
Yeah.
I might later. We'll see. So, I had a job at the movie theater, right? And
Person A.
Person A. We worked together, and it's a girl. I'll just say that.
Girl A.
She was going through some stuff. So, I don't know why, but people come to me and think I'm Dr. Phil when they have their problems. I guess I'm...
Is it the sideburns?
Yeah, speaking of my sideburns, man.
Mr. Sideburns.
I need to get... Oh, I gotta do something about them. But...
Got that Hugh Jackman Wolverine thing going on.
Oh, God. So, anyway, she was going through some stuff, like... honestly, I forget what she was going through. Jeez. But she didn't feel, like, recognized anymore, and it's just sad to me to think that some people
go through life wanting that notoriety.
Like popularity is not what it seems to be. Like, if you're popular, like, great, but at the same time, I promise you, it is not that good, and it's not worth it trying to, make you go out of your way to do something that you don't even like doing to make you, like, get noticed.
Like, don't show up at them parties just to, and then, because there's one of two things that are going to happen. You're probably going to get embarrassed, or you're probably going to get kicked out. One of the two. I'd rather people be themselves and be, if they're weird, then be weird.
Just be weird, man.
If you're weird, be weird.
Dude, weird's cool.
Yes, it is. It's very cool because you get to, because it's even better when you find people who are almost as weird as you.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Because then you guys can relate.
Exactly. You don't want to be like everybody else.
Definitely.
I think when you walk into high school, I think you should either look in the mirror before you go and be like, is this the person I want to be? Or if you want to, there's a difference between changing and evolving. I think everybody should evolve. I don't think you should change the person that you are just because you're just because you're going to something
Yeah.
somewhere else. I think you should evolve into something, a better version of you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like a person who's maybe a little bit more nicer, maybe a little bit more courageous, maybe a little bit more. I guess if you're shy, try maybe becoming a little bit more talkative. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk like a million miles a minute. But if you were shy and you want to be, and you want to be able to be more social, try be more talkative. It's
Just
not that
go for
hard.
it.
It's
Like-
just go for it. It's not that hard.
All they can do, look at you weird, and then that's all you gotta
That's
do.
all.
Walk
And
away.
then just take that with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
dust off your shoulders, and go to the next person. It's not
Exactly.
that hard. But I want to talk about these girls. Okay.
Okay, let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get it.
I've had a good number of women
Ditto.
that have been on the show,
Mhm.
and I use the word women very, very strong because these girls have goals, they have aspirations, they have some sort of direction that they want to go in life. They don't have the mindset of these Instagram models on IG. These girls on Twitter. They don't have the mindset of these girls who post on Snapchat every 5 seconds. And I just want to ask, what's the problem? I don't now from your experience. Have you ever experienced like where it was like, wow, like times have changed? Like,
Yeah.
have you had that moment where
Oh, God, yeah.
it's like, wow, times have changed when a girl is important because of the number of followers she has?
Yeah, it's weird. It
doesn't make sense to me.
If you think about that concept of followers and like followers whatever, but having followers to have more notoriety in society, like it's just a weird concept.
That was bars. Notoriety in society.
It's like it's just weird to me. Like it's weird.
I don't understand the concept. I thought because you'll see a girl, right? You'll see a girl, right? And you're like, oh, okay, she's cute. Then you click on her you click on her profile, and you're like, she has like 2 million followers.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who she is.
Mm.
And then you click on it, and it's just a bunch of pictures. And I'm like, okay, what does she do?
Exactly.
And you don't, and and you figure out that it's just
She's just like sponsored by a freaking
something.
by a tea or something.
Exactly.
Like
What's the name of the tea that I see everywhere?
Fit tea.
Flat tummy tea.
Flat tummy tea.
Yes.
She's like sponsored by them.
Yeah,
and
and
she has so many followers.
she posts a picture every couple of weeks of like her drinking their tea in like some skin tight outfit, and I'm like,
you know, that's fine because at least she's making like money off of it.
well,
She's
yeah,
making
but
a living.
that's
but-
like that's the minimum.
Yeah.
That's the minimum. Like you don't I don't know if you have a job.
Exactly.
I don't know if you have
And that's the thing you got.
goals and aspirations. Like I don't know what the deal is.
That's the thing you got to remember too. Like I know a bunch of younger girls, that look up, and they won't admit it. They won't admit that they look up to people like Instagram models and they say, oh, I don't really care about having a body like that. Deep down inside, they do.
Yeah.
The thing you got to remember is
That's just insecurity. That
yeah.
always happens.
The thing you got to remember is that Instagram models, they're showing you their part of their life that's perfect. Like they have problems. Just the
Everybody
same as
has
you.
problems, man.
Like if you don't think they do, then you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Like
then I don't know what kind of false reality you're living in. Like I see World Star like every day post a picture of a girl that's like, okay, Women's Crush Wednesday, and I'm like, okay, who is this? And I figure out it's another Instagram model. I'm like, what? I don't understand what you get out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand people like attention, but if that's all you want and that's all you care about, I don't understand that.
you need to reevaluate your priorities.
Yeah, because I don't understand that because it's just something that's like I've seen over the years, and I'm just like there's a lot of people, and famous people. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real harsh in about 5 seconds. There's a lot of people who are famous for the wrong reasons. I hate to get on my soapbox, but I'm gonna get on my soapbox. Kim Kardashian, for one, she got famous off a sex tape, and then now she's like, and now she has more followers than the president of the United States.
I mean, it's
no. You have to you have to let me replay that. Kim Kardashian has more followers than the president of. It doesn't matter who it is and what he's done, but it's the president.
It's a political figure.
It's the biggest political figure, the most important person in our country. She has more followers than the most important person in our country.
That's crazy.
That's in Amber Rose.
Yeah.
She got Okay, I know she got famous for dating Kanye, but now she does a slut walk, which I did wasn't really in favor of until I did more research upon it, and it's just basically to raise self-awareness for women.
Yeah.
And it's for women who get body shamed all the time, and you know what I'm saying? They just kind of want to change the definition of the word slut, and I kind of commend that. Just a little bit, you know, like she's doing something, you know, she's doing something, and but I was watching I was watching a clip this past week. It was an old clip, and it said that Amber Rose was going on tour, and my question was for what? Like, for what? Like, if it's a book, cool. That means you wrote a book. That means you put your thoughts to paper. It doesn't matter if you typed them or not. That means your thoughts are in a book like that we can read. I'm like, okay, cool. Not a book. I still don't know I still don't know, and it's a long time, and it was a long time ago. But then she did the slut walk thing, and I'm like, okay. And she does like it's an actual walk, like that raises money for. I don't know if it goes to charities, but it's just a walk. It's an event that she puts on, and I'm like, okay, I give her an exception because I think she's actually doing something. She acts. She does movies. So she's not. I don't think she's on Instagram all the time worrying about, you know what I'm saying? She has a kid with Wiz Khalifa. I think that's her number one priority, which I respect that. So I give Amber Rose a pass. Yeah. Because of that. But Black China.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about Rob. We're not going to do that. She was famous because of being a rapper's wife, who she wasn't, and before that she was a stripper. Now, I don't know how she got to the notoriety level that she's at now. Apparently she's dating Playboy Cardi.
What?
That's a whole different story. So I don't understand where these three girls have this big ginormous cult following. Because you know what, Kim Kardashian, if it wasn't for Kim, Kylie Jenner would be a thing.
True.
Jenner wouldn't be a thing. Kate, okay, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, because I guess he had his own fame before that happened. Her mother, Chris, Rob, everyone in that family has a salary that's bigger than a hard-working blue-collar guy that works at a mill. Mm-hmm. And you mean to tell me that they got famous because their relative put out a sex tape? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Makes me want to put out a sex tape.
That's a horrible idea.
I'm just kidding.
Well, but I understand that joke, but is that what it is now?
Like, you just have to do that.
Yeah, is that what you have to do? Like the chick from Love and Hip Hop, Mimi. Yeah. She put out something now. She's getting, I think she's probably like getting her own show.
It's just like, it's weird the things you can do
to get fame,
and then fame carry on.
But on paper, On paper, I'm gonna tell you this because because you have to grasp this. A woman and a man, doesn't matter who they are, did a sex tape together that went viral. And what happened was a whole family became more famous than the president of the United States. I want you to sit there and let that simmer, because that is really what society is now. And you can't tell me that you can't give them any excuses. You can't. And I would actually love to hear the excuses. Well, they do this, they do that. Well, where does all that stem from? Because before the sex tape, no one cared who she was until that happened. So if that sex tape didn't happen, she wouldn't have been able to do commercials. She wouldn't have been able to do makeup. She wouldn't have been able to do fashion. She wouldn't have been able to probably meet Kanye West and marry him and give him 2 kids. Maybe a third is possible on the way. I don't know. But I don't that you have to break it down sometimes and break it down to people, like
put it on paper.
And put it on paper. Like, she made her whole family famous off of a sex tape.
And I'm not saying, like, we're not. I mean,
I'm not bashing them,
yeah,
but you have to I'm not bashing them at all. And they get money now, so
yeah,
good for them.
Good for them.
But you have to understand that's what happens. That's what it is now. You can do something so stupid, like the girl from Dr. Phil has a record deal because of one catchphrase.
Yeah. It's just I think it boils down to, like, the right place, the right time, and what you do.
Exactly. Like, and they picked they picked the right time. But it's the idea. It's
just so stupid.
It's a very dumb idea that you can make your whole. Like, I want to know what the conversation was like. Oh, hey, we're about to become, like, really famous as I did a sex tape. Like, I would have been like, excuse me?
Excuse me?
Like, I don't want that fame. Like, I don't want any of that. I don't want to, like, someone figure out that I'm Kim Kardashian's cousin and try to run me down, like TMZ trying to run me down to my house. I don't want that. That's another thing I want to talk about. Like, would you rather be rich or famous?
Rich.
Because would
Definitely
you want
rich.
somebody would you want, like, 30 random people with cameras showing up to your house?
No, and
asking you questions that are basically none of their business.
Another thing is, if you're rich, you can use that money to acquire fame. If you want to, you can invest. You can, there's a whole lot. There's a whole thing.
Or you can just be rich and be rich in silence.
Yeah,
and just go buy land and live your life.
Just flex on them.
Yeah. But and that's another thing I want to talk about. Like, this generation, like, the word flex has became a verb, a noun, a adjective, has become a big thing. Now, do you think people flex because of they're insecure?
I think some people do, but I wouldn't say all of them. I think some people just do it just for, I don't know, just because they can.
I mean,
in a way, I know that sounds, like, really vague and just not really specific, but to be honest, I feel like some, like, rappers, of course.
Well, yeah.
Always.
But then again,
always.
I think
nothing against rappers.
I think it's not even just rappers, but it's like you're making this money, or you're doing this, and you decided to show off a little bit. There's gonna be people in your comments that are gonna be like, "Oh, this dude's just showing off. This guy's just showing off." And then there's also those people in their comments that are gonna be like, "Good for you."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of your accomplishment. But I don't understand why it's become a thing to do that. Like, I've heard I've heard people out loud, like I'll walk in public places and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, bro, we gotta go take this pic over by the lake so I can post it on Instagram." And I'm like, "What are you getting out of that? What is the end game? What is the reward that you are going to get for going to this many lengths?" Like when a girl posts a selfie with I think I saw like a girl post a selfie with like a homeless person, and talking about like things are different where I'm from or something like that. Like
there's some boundaries.
There's boundaries,
I think when social media comes into play, people forget those boundaries because all they're thinking about in that moment is how much likes is this going to give me, how much comments.
What do those likes and comments get you though? Because I've done my research, you can't monetize Instagram.
Yeah, not yet at least.
I guarantee you probably will be able to
in the
future.
Facebook.
You can monetize. You can monetize YouTube.
Which, yeah.
I'm in the midst of trying to get there, but it's okay.
Grinding.
It takes time. Grinding. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get where this whole like do it for a like, do it for favorites, do it for Twitter comments. I don't know where that came from.
Do it for the Vine.
Do it for the Vine. Like I don't want to. I don't know where all that came from. Because when I was in like elementary school, I didn't really care about all of that. I just came to elementary school just to have some fun.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying. Recess was where it was at. Now it's like, okay, y'all got free time to be on y'all's phones. Like
it's weird.
I don't understand where it came from. I don't know why it has to be like such a.
It's like a challenge almost to see how much you can get on a picture on Instagram.
I don't understand, but what's the reward? Is the problem? What's the end game for
I guess just people, and I'm not gonna lie, like I have felt short of this. Like
everybody has.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Everyone has.
It's okay. But some do it way more.
Yeah,
than
definitely.
Others. Some people take it way overboard.
I think what the reward for people is. I mean, I think it's just a sense of
accomplishment,
followership. Like
maybe it's like oh okay, people like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Perfect, yeah. I think that's what it is, and it sucks that it has to do that now. It sucks that has to happen now.
I mean, there are people on Instagram that post nice pictures just to post.
Yeah.
I know, and that's another thing. Like, you can post a picture on Instagram because you might think someone might like it. Like,
or you can just post a picture on Instagram just because this is something that you wanted to share.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter if you get any likes. It doesn't matter if you get any, favorites or comments or whatever. But there's some people who are out there that just want to like share their life with whoever follows them. And to those people, I'm like, good for you. Yeah. Like that's what it's Cramp's kind of for. Mm-hmm. But people use it. But now people use it to like, use it to try to get notoriety or Twitter. There's a thing called subtweeting now. Like there's a thing called subtweeting. There's a thing called I think that's what it is. Basically, just those Twitter games. Just people like subtweeting now. Like there's people sending subliminal shots. You know what I'm saying? Like
Twitter makes me want to kill myself sometimes.
Twitter. Okay, in high school, when I was in high school, listen, Twitter was like an after-school activity.
Yeah.
It was like the rec center when you were a kid. It's like, oh, okay, what's everybody else doing? Like,
it's crazy how I think Twitter is more advanced when it comes to like connecting people.
Yeah.
Because you can literally I just feel like it's easier to have a conversation on Twitter.
It is because because you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Your thumbs do, but you don't, as a person, don't feel anything when you have a conversation with somebody through text, through Twitter, through Instagram, through Snap. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think the difference between the older generation, which I mean, I would love to be known as like that part of that generation, because I feel like I'm an old head even though I'm 21, but like because I look at some of y'all and I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are you, like, it wasn't like this. Like, why did it get like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, but back to Girls 2017. What do you think the main difference is between how they acted back then, how they act now? What is the main difference?
One thing, I think girls want clout. They want your clout. Okay,
well, for everybody who doesn't know what clout is, how about you explain your definition of clout?
Definition of clout, probably what status you are.
Okay.
Your status in whether that be school, social media,
society, period.
Fashion, society, anything. How, or, you know, what have you contributed?
Exactly.
And how much you've contributed.
Exactly. I think everything has just been made to... Everything now has just been made to be like, oh, this is social media worthy. Social media, like, yeah. I say this and I'll say it again. Social media ruins lives.
It does.
It ruins lives, man. And that's why, I mean, I'm from now on for the rest, like, or since December 1st, I've only posted things that had to do with this channel because not only do I want my channel to be out there, that's the only thing I want everything to be out there, because I just decided to just take a break. Like, I don't want to look at Snap and see the same people doing the same stuff. I don't want to see a girl have the little heart filter, you know what I mean? The same heart filter. I don't want to see a girl with the same dog filter. I don't want to see y'all like doing like, because I've seen a group of girls on their phones snapping, taking the picture, deleting it, taking a picture, deleting it, taking a. I want an answer. Why is it like this? Am I asking the wrong questions here? Like, because I want to know, why is it like this?
I think it's literally because normal girls that aren't famous, aren't Instagram famous, normal girls that go to school, they see celebrities and they see Instagram models, they see everyone that has more clout.
Or a bigger status.
Yeah, exactly. And they want to achieve that, and they want to be like them. So and another thing is, if I know tons of girls who take selfies, and if one little thing is off, if their eyebrow is off a quarter inch or something, they're like, no, I look ugly. But in real life, in reality, no one is going to notice that.
Exactly.
No one. I mean, it's kind of not your fault in a way, because I think everyone's insecure about
I think that's what it mainly comes down to. Everybody's just insecure about their status in life, their position in life. You know, like, they just want to be. I feel like normal girls kind of just want to be where everybody else is at, or they feel left out, and they want to start doing the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because it's sad, because I've seen girls who were not exposed to any of that stuff early on, and then they meet a group of people and they become that kind of person, and it's so sad.
Recently just happened. I recently just saw a girl do that.
It's sad to
watch.
It's sad to watch, isn't it?
It is, because I mean, personally, I cared for this girl a lot. She was my best friend, pretty much, and you know, she starts hanging out with these guys and this girl, and I don't know. She just changed so much,
and it sucks, because that's what happens.
Yeah,
it happens when the wrong people get a hold of the right person.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, because I've seen it, man. I've seen where like it's like girls that got their head on straight. They're just really cool to be around, and then they hang around the wrong people, changes their whole life, and I'm like, I don't even recognize you anymore.
Exactly.
And it's like, wow, man, like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, you mean to tell me that you don't at all remember who you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of want to give you, and then you get in an argument with them, and they kind of give the excuse of, "Oh, I just changed for the better."
Yeah.
That's not
an excuse. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You know it too.
No, yeah, you know you didn't, because you did it just to fit in. And this leads right into one of the subjects in here. How important is it in life to be yourself?
It's probably like
the most important
thing. It's uniqueness is like
amazingness.
It's an amazing feeling, because once you know that you don't have to be,
once you know that you're not doing something that not everybody else is doing, to me that feels really good.
When you don't feel the need to where you need to change for a certain type of person in order to be friends with them, or boyfriend or girlfriend,
whatever,
anything, it's the best feeling, because then you can literally just love yourself.
Exactly.
And once you hit that point, you really don't give a fuck about anyone else.
That's me junior year. That's me junior year.
That's literally me this end of last year and this whole year.
Yeah, like as soon as my junior year, I was just like, dude, like, I don't need to like be another person. I just need to be me. And whoever gravitates towards that, cool.
Yeah.
If whoever doesn't, cool.
Deuces.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very important. Like if there's one thing that it sounds cliche, but really is the most important thing about life is just being who you are.
Definitely.
Because if you try to change that, you almost lose your identity of who you yourself
It's not
are.
gonna work.
It's not,
because deep down inside, subconsciously, you're going to know that you're acting different,
and you don't want to go through an identity crisis where
exactly.
you don't know who you are, and you have to retrace your steps and go back in life. And no one wants to go back in life. We all want to go forward.
Exactly.
So you have to understand, like, being yourself is once again the number one most important thing in life. If you're listening to this and you're going to a brand new high school, don't know nobody, be yourself, because I guarantee you somebody's gonna see you and say, hey, he's cool, let's go say what's up to him. And then what happens? You make friends.
You'll find the best type of friends too.
Exactly, because then you don't have to put up a front.
Exactly.
You just be like, oh, that's like you probably have those friends where it's like, you know, you do something weird and then another person looks at him like, what's wrong with him? And then they'll just be like,
that's just him.
That's just him.
That's just him.
That's just who they are. Like, it's not a, you know what I'm saying? And number one thing is, do not conform.
And people don't like that either. They don't like when someone's different from the
that is
crowd.
definitely something that I don't understand.
I can speak from experience, because you and me went to a school that was very heavily country induced.
Yes,
it was.
And these are facts. This isn't bashing anybody. This is pure and only facts.
I mean, when you look at me, what do you think?
You think, look, listen, you have to kind of have to know who you are first. But Keegan is a guy who loves fashion, and he doesn't dress like everybody else. He just wants to. It's just who he is. Like, he dresses the way he wants to dress. He listens to who he wants to listen to. He likes what he likes. He does what he does. You have to understand that if everybody's the same,
it's boring.
It's boring. It's really, really boring. Like, I could never understand why I go to the mall and I see four girls who are literally the exact same person.
What's up? Some white Converse, ripped jeans from PacSun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I would rather talk to the girl who's probably got on, like, you know, instead of white Converse, maybe she got on some Vans or something, or some type of like girl shoes or something like that. Some Spartan sandals.
I just want a girl that wears Rick Owens.
You've been listening to a lot of ASAP. But again, don't conform. Don't try to fit in anywhere. Be you. If you want to wear Star Wars shirts to school every day, do that. If you wanna wear knee high boots, because that's your thing, and those are your favorite kind of boots. Wear them. If you want to wear rapper tees every day, like I do, when I get older and I have a house, I have a family, that's all I'm gonna be wearing. And my kids are gonna be like, "What's on your shirt?" I'm like, it's music from when I was a kid. This. You don't know this. You want to hear it? I got it on my phone. What's a phone? I have this thing that's like programmed in my wrist. Like, exactly. Like, this is I. If you want to do that, if you want to wear, designer clothes and have longer hair, maybe put it in a man bun, even though I don't agree with that. But that's your thing, and that's who you want to be, and that's what you want to do. Then do it. I don't think there is a law in the world that tells you that you cannot be yourself. There's even the worst kind of people can tell you, just be yourself. You don't need to conform to anybody. That's something that everybody needs to understand. If you're in a situation where you feel like a person is trying to change who you are, you need to do one of two things: put your foot down or leave them. Like, you need to tell them, like, listen, this is who I am, this is what I do, and you can take it or leave it, because that's what people have to understand. Like, the person that you are hearing talking on this mic, the person that you see is the person that you see in public. I live by a rule that I like to be myself at all times, and I don't conform for anybody. This is me every day. This is me. This is exactly who I am every day. I'm not different nor any less nor any more. I am just Hunter Foreman. That's exactly who I am. That's who I was put on this earth to be, and people have to understand that. You weren't put on this earth to be another version of another person. That's why, like, when people say, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be like the next Kobe," why can't you be the first you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't you be the first you? I understand you idolize Kobe and you idolize.
Inspiration is nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with inspiration at all, but be the first you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen people literally come up the same way that somebody else did because they wanted to follow in their footsteps, and I just kind of look puzzled every time, and I'm just like, why can't you be you? Why can't you create your own path? Why can't you create your own wave? I guess is the new term today. God, that sounded weird when I said that. But that's what it is. Like, you have to understand, like, not everybody is going to like you. But guess what? The good people will. The good people will see the good in you, and they will be like, listen, this guy's cool. He might be weird, but he's cool.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
That's one of the reasons why I like Kanye so much.
That's a perfect segue to talk about it, because we have to talk about your obsession with fashion and Kanye.
I don't know.
Tell us the story. I want to know the story.
I don't know. I started listening to Kanye, like, my first album that I ever heard from him was back in 2008.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's okay.
808s.
Really? That was the first one?
First one, man.
First one for me was Late Registration.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to those albums until I knew more about him, and then I went back and kind of saw his older stuff.
I'm still, and it doesn't matter any genre. I still think Drive Slow is one of the greatest songs of all time. Drive Slow, homie. Yes, it's a fantastic song because it's. I could go on all day about that, but it's weird because Kanye is has a very cult like
following. Yeah,
it's a very big cult like following, to the point where you have kids dressing like him. You have kids doing things like him. You have artists who have saying Kanye is a main inspiration, trying to be like him. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that with there, I have the utmost respect for Kanye. Of course, I do, because what he did was before he put out an album or even put together a College Dropout was he produced for Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He made all these great songs for Jay-Z. One off the top of my head, Lucifer off the Black Album. He did some production on Blueprint 2. I want to say some production on Blueprint 1. Also, factoid. Little known fact. Have you ever heard of a rapper called Scarface?
Mm-mm.
There's a rapper named Scarface. Have you heard of the Ghetto Boys?
No.
Okay. That's your homework for tonight. Scarface is one of like the greatest lyricists. I mean, he's very dark.
Wait a second. I think I might know who you're talking about.
Have you ever heard of a song called Mind Playing Tricks on Me? I
think I have. I think
he was a member of the Ghetto Boys and he was on that song.
Okay.
Their group had a little midget called Bushwick Bill.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of his most famous songs, "Guess Who's Back," was produced by the one and only Kanye West, and that was off his album called The Fix. And people don't understand, like, that whole soul sampling, like, people don't know where Kanye got that from. Kanye got that from Jay Dilla. Long live Jay Dilla, rest in peace. Because he started that soul sampling, but that whole chipmunk soul sampling stuff, that was Kanye who started that. There's times where I'm like, I don't like the new stuff because I feel like he's losing who he was.
Yeah,
and that's why
he's definitely changed from.
I think because that was Yeezus for me was like, okay, you're a little. I don't know who this is. Like, I don't know who this is.
Like the album itself, Yeezus is just batshit crazy to me. Like, I think it's a really good album, but at the same time, I feel like it's lacking.
It's
something
because Yeezus was like, I feel like I remember watching an interview with Sci-Hi to Prince, who's one of, I don't know. Okay, you remember the song "So Appalled"?
Yeah.
Off of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Do you remember his verse? That was at towards the very end, and you probably heard of this, and you were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Sci-Hi the Prince is one of my favorite artists because Sci-Hi was signed by Good Music, signed by Def Jam, and Kanye was like, because, and you know who actually, little known fact, when So Appalled, when he did he did like the chorus for So Appalled, and then he kind of put his verse like 4 minutes after the song, and Kanye and Beyonce were talking, and Beyonce hears the verse, and she's like, "You need to sign this guy." Beyonce gave Sci-Hi a cosign. If that's not something crazy, I don't know what is. Like, it's Beyonce. Like, that's the number one female artist in the world.
Definitely.
And people are probably gonna come in my neck. What about Adele and Taylor Swift? No, let's just be honest. I knew you were gonna say that. I'll let you finish right there.
I have to be loyal. I'm sorry.
But I mean, so Sci-Hi, we think, okay, his album, he has Kanye at his disposal. He was featured on a song with Jay-Z. He was featured on a song with RZA. So Appalled, let's be honest here. I think that was one of the best songs on that album. Clearly, that's my favorite Kanye album. I think that's his best line of work. To me, to be honest. So Appalled had Jay-Z, Pusha T, Sci-Hi to Prince, Swiss Beats, RZA. You know what I'm saying? I want to say it had Rick Ross on it. No.
You know, that album is like, it's not even really like an album, it's like a story to me. Like, it's great.
To me, it's the bridge between new Kanye and old Kanye.
It is.
Boom, right there. And very well put together. So Appalled came out, and Sci-Hi was, and so we're thinking like, okay, this is Kanye's new Golden Boy.
Yeah.
We're expecting an amazingly produced album. Because whenever you hear Kanye executive, like you hear like, oh, Kanye's executive producing my album, you automatically think like this is gonna be crazy. Like the production is gonna be amazing because I don't know what it is about Kanye's ear when it comes to production. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this needs a drum here instead of here, and then you need to add this sample and take this out, put this in, and it's just like it works so perfectly. So I'm thinking like, oh, this Sci-Hi, this is the next kid. We don't hear an album from him for about a couple years. This came out in 2010. We didn't get his debut album until 7 years later.
Damn.
He put out mixtapes.
Yeah.
Like the Black. He came out with the Black History Project, NAACP. You know what I'm saying? He came out with mixtapes, free projects that you can download anywhere.
Yeah.
But we want that album. Because the difference between, do you know? I'm gonna ask you this. Do you know the difference between a mixtape and an album?
It's like an album. Besides the official thing, like an album's more of like a
body of work, exactly. And a mixtape is just is a mixtape. It's just a collection of songs. Mm-hmm. We're waiting for that body of work because Kanye is at his disposal, and everybody knowing Kanye. If you're signed to Kanye, Kanye will help you out in whatever part you need. Mm-hmm. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. I'm ready. Like I'm ready for this. We don't hear from him until this year. He didn't drop his debut album until this year on Good Music. And Sci-Hi was just like, and to me, when we heard it, I was like, okay, this is definitely like, it had 2 Chainz featured on there. It had Pusha T, Travis Scott, Kanye West. It had Jagged Edge on there. But the point that I'm making is that Kanye has this amazing thing about him where nearly everything he almost touches turns to like greatness. And I'm not even saying it's no boost, but it's just,
it's kind of like, if you think about it, like
it's really a thing.
Point
blank. When he did when he put the finishing, I think when he signed Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was on Good Music for a while. I think he put out a project on there, I want to say. When Kanye got that got the Kanye cosign, it was like Kid Cudi couldn't be touched. Because remember that year when Kid Cudi was the guy. Yeah. Like he was like this. There was like nobody can touch him. Like this is one of the best people. This is one of the best artists ever.
Yeah.
So
I still think that too.
Yeah. So I mean, Man of the Moon.
Dude, that song. Oh my god.
The album. The
song Man on the Moon. Though.
Yes.
That song is so beautiful. I don't know why.
But his debut album comes out, right? Pursuit of Happiness is on there. What happens? That's like Kid Cudi rocket ship takes off, right?
Yeah.
Big Sean, kind of case in point, comes out, does Finally Famous, the album. Hit off that was Dance. That
yeah.
And then Hall of Fame comes out, and everybody's just like, oh, okay. And then Dark Sky Paradise comes out, and everyone's like, oh shit. And then I Decided comes out, and we're like, God dang, like it's everything. Pusha T.
Yeah.
When he did that song with Tyler the Creator.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of.
It's Pusha T and Tyler. It's off the Fear of God 2, I think.
It's gonna bug me if I don't figure it out.
Pusha T featuring Tyler the Creator. Oh my god, this is bothering me. I'm sorry we're doing this in the middle of the show, but we really have to figure out what it is.
Wait, is it Tyler's song?
It's Pusha's song.
Oh, it's Trouble on My Mind.
Trouble on My Mind. Okay, so when he did Trouble on My Mind, that was crazy. And then what happened after that? He came out with My Name Is My Name. And he had numbers on the boards. He had that song with that Sweet Serenade with Chris Brown. He had the song with Kanye West and Rick Ross. I mean, Pusha T is now the president of good music right now. Another case in point, Designer.
Yeah.
I don't like Designer at all. I don't like his music, but you have to give him credit because ever since he got the cosign from him and he signed to good music, things are kind of looking up for Designer. Yeah. I mean, if good music's fixing to release The Life of Designer, which is his debut album, it's gonna sound great. So I'm just saying that basically anybody. John Legend was on good music for a while, and and John Legend always makes great music. So right now this is the good music roster right now. Kanye West, Big Sean, Pusha T, Sci-Hi the Prince, Tiana Taylor, who's amazing by the way, Casey Hill, Holt, Designer, and Francis and the Lights. People who are on good music, just to name a few, Mos Def, which none of you young people understand who Mos Def was. Do you know who I'm talking? Do you know who
talking about?
You know who Mos Def was? Mos Def is probably one of the most underrated artists ever. Kid Cudi was on there. John Legend, Common. People don't understand how good Common was. Like, Mr. Hudson was there. There's just, and then his production wing, very good beats. Travis Scott's there. Kanye himself, No ID. I think the president of Def Jam Records. Travis Scott is there. Mike Dean, Hudson Mohawk, Charlie Heat. Hit Boy was there for a while. Hit Boy did what's the song on the Beyonce album? The song with Nicki Minaj. That off kilter.
Yeah. I can't think of the name.
That Pretty on Fleek.
Pretty
on Fleek. Let me look up the Beyonce album. Cause Hit Boy did that. He did N-Words in Paris. He did Drop the World. He did Click. Listen, man. He did some production on Rihanna's album. He did Feeling Myself.
Yes.
Feeling Myself. That's what he did. It was Feeling Myself. So I'm gonna let you tell your side of the story of why you think Kanye is probably the best artist of the brand new generation. And that's something that I think you wholeheartedly agree. So I'll let you just take it away from here.
So one thing I do like about Kanye, and it's not even about his music or fashion, it kind of has to do with it, I guess, because when it comes to his fashion, you said it's kind of like a cult following.
Mm-hmm. You see everybody wearing it.
You have people on Instagram wearing it, Twitter, hashtags. There's even Instagram pages. Like, there's literally Instagram pages called Kanye's Outfits. Like, people go on there. Okay. So, another thing that I really like about it is once you meet another Kanye fan, you guys click like that. Like, and me going to Royce City.
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye fans are very few and far between. You know what I mean? There was this one girl.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Who? Dallas?
Dallas.
What up, Dallas? She's been on the show.
Dallas and me were like same.
I didn't know how big of a fan she was until the whole thing about when Life of Pablo was coming out.
See, the thing is, I swear to God, Dallas is literally like the girl version of me. Like, seriously, it's creepy.
Shout out to Dallas.
Shout out to Dallas. But yeah, it's once you meet another Kanye fan, it's like, you know what's up.
Yeah.
You know what's.
So you went to the Yeezy store that opened up in Dallas. When it went
camped
there.
Out.
You camped out, really?
I camped out twice for Kanye.
Wow.
For the I went to Dallas at this one boutique called Black Market USA. It's in like Highland Park or something, and I convinced my dad. You have to understand this. I was 15 years old.
Wow.
15 years old, okay?
Wow.
I had a little bit of money saved up.
Uh-huh.
I got the news that day, that morning at school.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Thursday, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was going to be released on a Friday?
Like Friday morning. Like,
okay.
Like it's when they opened on Friday morning. And I texted my dad about it. And I was like, yo, we have to go to this. Like, this is a thing. Right?
This is something I want.
Yeah, and it was for the Yeezy 950s. The big ugly boots that people really don't like, but
okay.
I saw potential in them. I still do. They're still with me today. I wore them to ASAP Mob, and they're beat now, but yeah, I went and camped out for them for like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I met like all these tons of people. Like, we all got along, ordered pizza. It was a good night.
Wow.
But I mean, it's just crazy to me that like I convinced my dad to skip work and
take me
there, and I like skipped school like that morning.
So you basically were like, okay, I'll take all the consequences later.
Yeah. I was like, I need to do this.
Wow, that's incredible.
Second time was for the pop-up for the Life of Pablo. It was for his merch.
Okay. Yeah.
That whole day I was stressed out.
Why?
Because he was going to tweet when he still had a Twitter. He was going to tweet the locations where the shop was going to be.
And you did.
And
you didn't know
Dallas was literally the last location he tweeted, and it was with me and my friend Christian. Shout out to Christian. We were at the the mall in what is it called? Stonebriar.
Okay.
So we were there like all day with me and like some coworkers. We went and like chilled, and all day I was stressing about it. So I was like, you know what? It's like 9:00
at night.
Yeah, it was like all day he hasn't tweeted about it. It's like 9 at night. Me and Christian were like, let's just go back, maybe see a movie. So we went and seen Sausage Party.
Uh-huh.
That movie's crazy.
That movie's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
The ending?
The ending gave me PTSD. But in the movie theater, I get a text, or not a text, a notification.
LN alert.
Yeah. It's Kanye, and he tweets the location to Dallas. We leave like halfway through the movie, like
go.
And guess where it was?
Where?
At Stonebriar.
I
literally was just there.
You never should have left.
But yeah, that was fun. Waited like 10 hours just for like a couple shirts.
I know people who got
hoodies.
I know somebody who got like a hat and a shirt, and they waited for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this big door.
Yeah, it was huge.
Like,
it was nice. Like,
it was just a big door, and then like it's like every so much people can go in.
Yeah, it was like 10 people probably like each, and it took forever. I was one of the first like few groups to go, but for the people in the back, man, I feel sorry for them.
Why? Because like all the sizes were gone.
Yeah, everything was like getting picked out, and
I would have loved to be like the first person there, and I would have been like, all right, medium.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
if you want something, you gotta, sometimes you gotta wake up at
the crack of dawn just to go get it.
Just to go do it. Like, it's dedication. And
like, that's crazy. I've never done that before.
It's fun, man.
Cause my favorite rapper doesn't do pop-up shops. I remember I got there was a mystery box that was for Pro Air for Joey Badass, and I wanted it for Christmas. I was like, I had enough money to buy it. It was $100. I was like, I'm gonna buy this for me for Christmas. I didn't know what was gonna be in it, so I'm thinking like, yo, what if it's like crazy, like amazing shirt? What if like his new album's in there and I don't even know it?
Crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I opened it, and I wish I could have saved it, but I didn't think it said to Joey Badass or to Hunter Foreman from Joey.
What?
And I was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, this. Oh, but I'm thinking like, oh, he does it for all of his fans, but still, this
but
is awesome.
Still, like
that's crazy. And I like threw away the package, and I was like, oh no. Man. But like,
I would have hung that.
I got a hat, I got a shirt, I got two shirts, 2 pins. 2 of them are on my jacket. I have a Pro Air one on my green jacket, and I have a biker jacket that has Capital Steez on there.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Capital Steez. His they'll be releasing his actual posthumous debut album December 23rd, the anniversary of his death. Which sucks that he died 2 days before Christmas. He committed suicide. He jumped off a building. So like I was so my mom, I don't know if my mom knew what it was in it. I just know that I didn't know what was in it. So I got everything, and there's a hat in there. Like I wear that hat all the time. If you see me with a black hat that says Worldwide Domination, that's the hat. Like it was just like so cool, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is stuff. There's like pins, stickers, and stuff. And then I reach the bottom, and it's it's 2 CDs, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I turn one of them around. It's the Summer Nights mixtape printed up as a CD. I don't have a CD player, but I still have these CDs.
I mean, it's collectible.
Yeah, it's a collector's item. And then I reached for another CD, and I remember most of the music. Like you probably remember like almost all the stuff that he's released of Kanye's released.
Yeah,
and he does projects with Pro Era, like his whole group, and I look at the bottom like, what is this? It's like it's a Toyota EP, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, so Pro Era got this deal with Scion. It was Scion. They got this deal with Scion, and they did a whole bunch of music, and they were gonna release like this group project kind of thing, and it's the EP that has the songs that they picked out from it, and I was like, this is crazy. But that was after I like went and met him. Yeah. Like meeting that was one of the best days of my life. That's like crazy. Going to that concert was one of the best times of my life. It was before his debut album, Before the Money, came out, and it was like Vince Staples was there.
Vince Staples is crazy.
Vince Staples is amazing. There's only one thing that Vince Staples can do, and that's rap. That's the only thing. I think that's the only
he has
thing.
He has like the voice for it, like the tone of his voice.
That's all he just like. He doesn't like play he just raps. Yeah. Same thing with Earl. Like that's exactly. He just raps. That's all he can do. He just raps. So when I got to see that, like it was cool, man. Like, I've been waiting to go back and go see him, and then I remember when This is I would you could call this clout. I remember when I got the notification that ASAP 12 would follow me on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, that was crazy. Damn. And then I think that's Made in Tokyo followed me one time too. Really? And then a couple of like big name battle rappers followed me. Like shout out to Briz Rothstein and Jims. Briz Rothstein is actually battling tomorrow. Smack Volume 1 predictions just was uploaded today. Y'all need to go check that out. I got a lot more great content that has to do with all of that. I'll be doing a special edition battle talk here soon. But listen, man, it's always good chopping it up with you, man. We are an hour and 27 minutes in.
20 what?
Yeah. So while I'm gonna give you a chance to look through your phone and find a song of the day, I have mine already queued up, so I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a backstory. This one is a little different. This one's kind of I wouldn't say it's an old song, but it's a bit of a classic. Everybody remembers the show, The Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Do you remember when, and it's funny because we talked about him, but do you remember when Common and Kanye were on that show? They did a live performance. Well, they did a live performance of a song called The Food. And the song of the day is The Food by Common off of B. Yeah. Off of the one album that he released on Good Music, I think. But the Food is classic boom bap, soulful production Kanye, and if you can look up the episode where it's the performance of Common and Kanye, and it's old Kanye. I'm talking backpack, polo. It's like and Common's got the the Kangol hat, the
man.
sweater, because Common's got that like old grandfather corduroy swag. You know what I'm saying? He always wears like corduroy sweaters and like smokes a pipe and tells you about like how
things are.
Yeah, how things are. It's like, hey, how's your father? How you doing, sir? How you doing, sir? He looks like he could be an author somewhere, like, or like a dean, he just looks like a principal, like a really cool principal. So off of B, the album, that same album has a song Go. That song Go 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 Go, and on the count of three, there's a lot of Kanye vocals on all of that, but The Food by Common featuring Kanye West. The only version that's like on like iTunes or anything is the live version, which is from the Chappelle Show performance. You'll hear Dave Chappelle doing the introduction. Yeah. But the song is amazing. Lots of melodies, produced by Kanye West. It's great.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
As of mine.
Yes.
It's actually, it wasn't originally his song, but he, I guess, collabed with him. Jay-Z. Forever Young.
Really?
Love that song.
That's what album is that off of? That's off of Blueprint 3?
Something like that.
Let's do some research here.
So yeah, man, that song. I
love the sample that he chose for that. I love I just didn't expect. I never would expect anybody to be like, I like this is like one of my favorite songs. I'm not saying it's a crappy song. I'm just saying like I just don't. The problem with Jay-Z is that I wasn't necessarily raised on Jay-Z. Yeah. I was raised on Nas. So, when people would tell me like, oh, it was like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, Young Forever. Yeah, it was off the Blueprint 3. So, let me make a sidebar. Yo, Jay-Z, let me talk to you for a minute. I know you're like trying to push Tidal and everything, and you wanna make sure it's the premier streaming service. But if you could please, I don't care if I gotta pay for you. I don't care if I have to pay for this. I might have to now because you're being real stingy about it. Could you please put the Blueprint trilogy and Reasonable Doubt on Apple Music, please? I've been asking for this forever and ever. So, could you please? Because listen, I love classic albums just as much as the next person. I love listening to stuff like Biggie's the Life After Death. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love listening to all that. Like, whatever a rapper's best album is, that's the first one I'm going to first. So, when I look up Jay-Z, I'm like, on Apple Music, it's got the Black Album, which let's not get it. Black Album, great album. 444, I thought it was great. I loved it. Did you?
I enjoyed some. I mean, some of it.
I like Story of OJ and Family Feud are my favorite songs off of there. I enjoyed it. It was a good Jay-Z album. It's not for kids though, guarantee you. That's for grown. That's for grown people. He's talking about some grown man shit on that one. But the first album I ever heard from Jay-Z was the Blueprint 2, and it had Poppin' Tags on it, and it was like, that was my song, man. Yep. And the fact that I can't listen to it,
it's like,
it hurts me.
I'll definitely say this. I like the older Jay-Z.
I do too.
A lot better.
The volume 1s are on there, the In My Lifetime, the one that had Big Pimpin' on it and stuff. A good song that I recommend you should listen to if you like old Jay-Z. Go to, I want to say it's volume 1 off of, it's on Apple Music. It's volume 1, and I'm trying to think of, it's either In My Lifetime, I think. Yeah, In My Lifetime, volume 1, the very first song, intro. You've probably heard the "Okay, I'm reloaded." That's where that originated from.
Oh, really?
That's where that song. It's from a movie, but he was the first person to use that in a song. Gotcha. So the very first song, right off the bat, and then if you've ever heard Numbers on the Boards, I don't know if you ever heard the break where he's like, motherfuckers can't rhyme no more about crime no more. That's the original song where it comes from. So I urge you. And also, I know this is weird, but the second song, The City Is Mine, right after that, don't listen to it while during the day, but just drive at night and listen to The City Is Mine off of that album, and you're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. This creates an amazing vibe. Any final words, man?
I was going to say another Jay-Z song.
Go ahead.
One of my favorites. History.
Off of what album?
More Than a Game. I don't know if it was... Wait, hold
Is that off the LeBron? Is that the LeBron soundtrack?
Really? I think it is. Yeah.
Is that whole album on...
Oh, I know that song in specific. He made it when Obama became president.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's I don't know, like, the message behind it's really good. Mm-hmm. I love, like, the production of it. It's crazy to me.
We'll end it on this one. Name an artist that you think people should take more serious. And listen to more. Mine is Cousin Stiz. Cousin Stiz is an amazing... If you listen to a song called Lambo off of his One Night Only mixtape that's on Apple Music, it's amazing. That whole project's awesome. I think his cadence, like the way he sounds, and he did a song with Offset called Headlock. That's just a great song. Cousin Stiz, I think he should definitely like get some more notoriety. You know what I'm saying? He's done song. He was on the Chill Bill remix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's mine.
Number an artist that, what did you say?
That you think should get like more
take more seriously
and get more notoriety, like one of your favorite underground artists.
He's not even a rapper.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Mac DeMarco. I know. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Oh man, you should listen to Mac DeMarco.
Is he nice?
He's really good artist. Like,
what kind of music?
Music,
like alternative,
like indie rock.
Okay.
Very, very Tyler the Creator-esque.
Okay, so like
vibes.
You could tell like he's inspired like.
Definitely.
Okay.
He does his own thing. It's not like straight up like Tyler the Creator ripoff, but his music is just beautiful.
Kind of like a Frank Ocean kind of.
Sort of like.
But more acoustic?
Way more acoustic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Less like, less like...
More
computer.
instrumentation.
Yeah.
More instrumentation. Okay.
I mean, for God's sake, he did his tour. He didn't even take a tour bus. He took an old beat-down van.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But another artist that I just actually found out about, they're more R&B. Thundercat.
I love
Thundercat.
I love Thundercat.
They're great.
You're drunk?
Yeah, Drunk in 3 a.m. Come on.
That song with Michael McDonald and Kenny... Okay, y'all probably don't know who Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins is, but Michael McDonald is the greatest backup vocalist of all time, and Kenny Loggins made the song called Danger Zone. That song is amazing. Well, Thundercat's just one person. Yeah. Thundercat is just one person. And... the reason I say that is because people think Party Next Door is a band. People think Weeknd is a band. People think I've heard people think Thundercat's a band. Thundercat is a amazing musician.
He's great.
Who plays guitar, piano. He's a wizard, man. I watched him. The first time I ever watched him live was on the Hannibal Buress show.
Oh, really?
When they did it on Comedy Central. Great. He's an amazing artist. Like Drunk is what I heard. Drunk like all the way through. Amazing. Like the song with Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins, one of my favorites. Song with Kendrick, one of my favorites. He had Wiz Khalifa on that album, which is great.
It's great.
So check out Thundercat, Mac DeMarco. Go check out Cousin Stiz. I'm gonna one of these days, man. I'm gonna I think at the end of the year, I spoke to a friend of mine. I'm gonna have to do probably give out the Flight 96 Hip Hop Awards. Yeah. I'm gonna have to be best album, best album, best new artist, best artist, song of the year. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I think I'm gonna do it probably before the year's end. maybe even like, or if like maybe like the first week of January, because we can't recap a whole 2018 for 1 week. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. 972 to Infinity is on its way. The playlist will go live 2 p.m. Central Time, December 12th, Tuesday. The cover is going to be shot. I'll be revealing a whole bunch of details about it. Yeah. Any other words, man?
What's your opinion on Brockhampton?
They are amazing. Saturation 3, December 15th. I'm waiting.
Can't wait.
Love Brockhampton. All right. Well,
that's great.
For Keegan, I'm Hunter. Y'all know the slogan. One love. And